let's start with a spiral in the middle. Just do a few rotations of a spiral. And then let's see. You know what I want to do? I want to put some circles around the spiral. So I'm doing them now, top, bottom, side, side, and this will help us space them out evenly. So just top, bottom, side, side, like at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And then you can go back and then between and either put 2 and fill in, or 1 right in the middle like I'm doing here. And it still gets a little uneven, but that will help you just space them out a little bit and putting them in. It's just kind of easier to judge. Hey Patricia, oops, somebody else popped in, I didn't see. I can't see your comment, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention to my screen. Anyway, so yes, it just helps you, kind of space them out evenly around the space. And so then on top of that, I want to actually make kind of a circle that's going to go around. So I'm just going to go from top to top of all of these. I hope you can see that okay. From all of these circles. So just think about, making your line, your curved line go around and just barely touch the top of these circles that you put down. And that will help guide you into making a pretty decent circle all the way around. Yeah? So that way it's just a little bit easier rather than trying to draw a nice circle around and then putting the little circles inside. Put the little ones first and then draw the bigger one around it. It's a little bit easier that way. So let's see. Let's just go ahead and put some petals around the outside of this. So just some medium size petals. You can make yours smaller or bigger if you want. Hey Marilyn. Is everybody drawing with me today or just hanging out and watching? Okay, and remember to turn your paper. Focus on your line work, your definite start and stop points so that we stay mindful and focused on our task. And let's see. Let's put some chubby triangles in, shall we? Let's see, we'll do just kind of a medium size one going around. Definitely remember to turn your paper on this one. It's very difficult to make these shapes without turning your paper. At the very least, you'll get kind of wonky shapes. At the most, you'll really strain your wrist trying to, kind of maneuver all around to make the shapes. There we go, and let's see, I'll fit one more in there. All right, perfect. And what are we gonna do next? Let's put in, hi Diane, thanks for joining. I keep forgetting to glance up at my screen to see who's popping in. Let's put in some kind of teardrop shapes in between our chubby triangles. So just adding a little extra shape in between there. And if anybody's watching along, even if you're watching along on replay, just throw a comment in so I can see who you are and say hi, and let me know if you're if you're drawing a mandala with me today or just watching along. Let's see. Let's put some larger shapes going around. Maybe like kind of like a Hershey's Kiss shape, just a little bit, taller. So I'll draw one so you can see what I'm talking about. And I think maybe let's do it from the top of these teardrop shapes. So just kind of like this. It almost more looks like a flower petal when it's this shape than a Hershey's Kiss, but we'll go with it. I literally just make up these crazy names because I have to have some way to, kind of explain what I'm doing. And then, you kind of get used to my names for them. So when I say it, you have some idea of what I'm talking about. And I don't know, I just think it's fun to think of these silly names for the shapes. Oop, now it's going to be skinny. But we aren't going for perfectionism, right? We are just trying to be mindful, get a little clarity, have a little meditation time. And let's see, what should we put next? Let's put some little semicircles in between our sort of Hershey's Kiss shapes there. And going around. And let's see. Remember to keep conscious of your line, your start, draw stop points, keeping it mindful. And let's do next. What should we do next? Let's make kind of a circle around the tips of these. So it's like a circle. You can either look at it as just like a partial circle going around, or look at it as a circle that's kind of hidden partially behind this leaf shape. There we go. And your circles will likely come out all wonky. That's okay. It's pretty much impossible to make perfect circles, so we don't even worry about that. And hey, Julie, how are you? Thanks for hopping on with me. Are you drawing today or just watching? All right, let's see. Let's put another of the little sort of Hershey's Kiss shapes going in between. So starting maybe just in the, top quadrant of the circles we just put down. And we'll give ourselves a guide, maybe make it about this tall. So just kind of go out from the center, put a little dot to help, guide your hand up to that space. And then we'll just make again our little Hershey's Kiss shape. Julie, it's late for you. Yeah. Oh yeah, what would it be? It would be like almost midnight, right? I think so. So yeah, definitely a good, a nice thing to just watch before bedtime, right? Relax you a little bit. Have a little bit of head clearing time. All right. And you can see, I always talk about not going for perfectionism and things like that, that's not the purpose of our exercise here, and you can really see, like, I mean, you know, I have made literally thousands of mandalas, but you know, when I'm going around this, you know, freehand, I mean, it's just very, you know, you're not planning it, you're not, you know, it's just kind of all intuitive as you're going around. And you can see, look at the, you know, the difference in this shape and this shape. I mean, there's a huge size difference, a huge, you know, difference in the way it looks. But when you finish the whole thing, you get it all done, you don't even notice those kind of things. It just, you know, almost adds that extra sort of personality to these kind of more intuitive mandalas. And so yeah, it's, you know, it's not even a bother at all. I know some people, you know, who are like me and get to be a little bit of a perfectionist, get a little bit worked up about those kind of things. And so I like to always stress that we're not going to worry about that at all. And in fact, doing mandalas can really help you sort of overcome that tendency to want to be a perfectionist. It really has helped me a lot. I used to freak out about, you know, like the differences in all these shapes. It would like almost make me nervous and crazy. But just doing them over and over and over, you really learn to just kind of let go and realize, especially after you've completed many of them, you begin to really realize that once you have completed it, it looks just as beautiful. I mean, it really doesn't look really any beautiful if you've had measured everything out exactly. So, you know, doing that over and over, you really start to let go of that perfectionism and realize that, you know, things can be beautiful in their own way without being absolutely perfect. So yeah, I always say if you have issues with perfectionism, absolutely make these freehand mandalas. They're the best thing. Okay, so let's see, let's do a time check. Okay, why don't we go in and just start some of the filler. Oh, thanks, Julie. Let's see, what shall we do? Let's go ahead and let's start with the these little chubby triangles here, and I want to make them some leaf shapes. You know, I'm a fan of the leaf shapes. Let's see, Patricia. Hi, Deb. Thanks for drawing live mandalas. Told me addicted to in like 3 days or so. Oh yeah, cool. It's you're welcome. I mean, I actually love doing this, coming on live for everybody to draw the mandalas with me. And again, I save them all, so anytime that you don't have a chance to actually do them at the time, you can go back and look through. I have an album on Facebook with them, and I also put them on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist on YouTube with the DAMM videos. So absolutely anytime that you can't be with me live, you can go back and look at them and do that. Or putting this out there, just attempt to do one completely on your own. That'll come with a while when you start getting comfortable with making the shapes and being able to just create them, spontaneously on your own. But I love that you like making them. All right, where was I? Oh yeah. So we're going to make leaves out of these. That's one of my favorite shapes, is doing the leaf. So I'm going to put just, starting from the middle and just going up and making the line in the middle. And we'll just go around and put them all in there to start. And this is just kind of like the middle vein of the leaf, right? And I'll put these in. I probably won't go around and do every single piece in the filler, just because I don't have the time. So just to show you as much as I possible, I'll just do a few of them. But let's put the little secondary veins of the leaf. So for those of you who have seen my videos before, you know what I'm going to talk about is the same kind of attention to your line as doing the start and stop points. But we're going to do a start and lift, which works better with a marker. A ballpoint pen doesn't work as well in that, but still you can get a little bit of effect. But what you're doing is giving just a really tapered end to that line. So you start the line and try to get it where you can see a little bit more, and then you draw and lift. So instead of having a different stop point, you lift. And that will, if you can see, just give the line that really tapered end that just looks really nice and organic and works really well for making, you know, leaf shapes and things like that. That's one of my favorite things to do. And what it does too is because the start point is much thicker than the end point, you almost get like a little shadow going down the middle so that it looks, you know, gives it that kind of 3-dimension, like the leaf is actually kind of, you know, folding in a little bit. Let's see, let's do this one and then we will put something else in. What else can I do? Let's go ahead and in these little flower petals here, we'll just do something simple because they're kind of small shapes. So I'm just going to put, we're just going to put a couple little lines going in them. And you can do the, you know, the start, lift line again, just to keep it kind of that little, you know, organic line. But that'll just give it a little, you know, shape that looks a lot more like a little petal. Let's see. In this teardrop, I'm actually going to make a line that's going up, and I'm going to make 2 little dots. So it's hard to find things to put into these really skinny shapes. So I usually just do something like this that adds some interest, but is not, you know, a lot of detail. Can you see that okay? And so it, you know, it just adds like a, you know, a nice little element without having to try to squeeze too much into that little space. Let's see. I want to go ahead and put, I'm going to put the same shape, sort of outline this shape here just on the inside of it. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to explain these things sometimes. So I'm just kind of tracing the exact same shape, just right on the inside. So you're just kind of making like a double line of this shape. Let's see, time check. Okay, I have just about 5 minutes. So let's see what we can do in 5 minutes. All right, one thing we can do in just here, just to keep it simple, is we can just kind of put some lines going out, like 3, 4, 5 lines, whatever fits, and then maybe just putting a little dot or a circle on top of those. Just something fun and kind of organic looking. And you definitely don't have to have the same amount of lines in every petal, especially, you know, if they're different sizes. Like this one really only nicely fits 4. And we'll do that. I'll do one more and then we'll see what else I can do. I like the little circles on top. It just gives it kind of that little cute factor. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's put some petals on the outside of these, our semicircle shapes here. We'll just make some petals going around. There we go, like that. Nice. And so much more we can do, filling in so much. Hi Deborah, thanks for popping in. I just have a couple more minutes. I'm finishing up doing some inside and then it'll be done for the day. But like I always say, these, you know, these are all saved in either in my, you know, my photos here on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, which is Deb Sormenu Art. So you can, you know, you can look that up easily. I'll try to remember to put a link in the comments, but sometimes I space and forget that. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's go ahead and just, as I'm thinking about it, put some petals up on top of these things too. So just in this circle that we drew up here, there's that little space in between. And if yours, if yours ended up meeting in the middle and you don't have that space, then you know what? Either just stick it on top or don't worry about it. I know, a lot of times, it's just those little kind of tiny differences that happen when you try to follow a video that, like, wait a minute, I made mine join. I don't have the space there. And then, so that's fine. Either just put them in the like little crevice or just don't put the little petals at all. And then we can, again, put some little lines up on the petals just for a little extra something there. What shall we do? Let's put, I'm going to put another sort of little half circle or curved line shape inside of that. And then I want to actually, I'm going to put a larger circle and then 2 smaller ones on each side. And just squeeze them in however you can. Let's see, I got like another minute. What can we do? We can put another line in here, make another double line maybe around this shape, kind of fill in that space a little bit. A lot of times in these bigger shapes, it's hard to fill them in with just, organic stuff. So making this double line will actually lessen that space a little bit. So you have less to worry about kind of trying to fill in and with something interesting. And in that you can do, so many different things. Like maybe we'll make another circle around and let's see, what can we do with that? One thing you can do is, and I don't do this a lot, it's not one of my favorite things to do, but making kind of radiating lines going out. From this space. So that actually adds quite a bit of interest and fills in that space nicely. Oh. And maybe in here, this is a little bit trickier, but let's make 2 spirals going in. And I'm going to make a little dot above them. So I just started somewhere in these petals and just made like a little open spiral coming in towards the center. And they can touch if you want. If they touch, they tend to look a little bit more like a heart, but that's okay too. And it's time for me to go. So yeah, so that's a good start. Filling the rest of these, this should be a really, really pretty mandala. And again, if you've drawn this mandala, please put them in the comments. I would love, love, love to see your version of it. And share this video. I would love for you to share this video just so I can, just reach as many people to, have access to these meditation mandalas and just benefit from them, or even just, if people want to watch me draw, that's also very relaxing, watching drawing videos. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and drawing with me if you did. And I will see you tomorrow. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.